Fouke High School, and I would like to welcome everyone to our school for the LifeNet Livesaver Award ceremony. Just a few months ago, I'm sure many of you remember, during a basketball game against Genoa Central, a man went into sudden cardiac arrest. Because of the quick actions of several people in the stands that day, Mr. Jerry McKnight is still part of our community. While many people played various roles that day in supporting Mr. McKnight and his family, today we get to recognize 7 additional people who directly performed the life-saving skills necessary to save Mr. McKnight's life until EMS professionals arrived. The Fouke School District is honored to have each of these 7 individuals here today. We are honored that our students get the opportunity to be a part of this award ceremony. Before we recognize them, we want to make sure that each of you understand the importance of the role you play in your community and having the necessary skills to save someone's life. At this time, I'm going to ask Mr. McClure to step forward and say a few things, and then I will hand it over to our mayor, Mr. Purvis.
My name's Jeremy McClure. I'm the Fouke School Resource Officer, as many of you know. I would like to take this time to recognize a few people who worked behind the scenes that didn't have anything with the Lifesaver Award, but these people either assisted in getting the AED, the quick litter backboard, or assisted in medical supplies. Also, they helped guide first responders to the scene to get the proper treatment. Miss Angie McAdams, is she with us in here? Jim Rice, Carmen Cross, Coach Cody Powell, Coach Mo Williams, Superintendent Jim Bowie. We train hard here at the Fouke School. We train in all crisis events, from active shooter to a gas leak to a medical emergency. The time we spend training during the school days and PD days carries over to athletic events, and I just want to show my thanks and recognize these people for their hard work. Thank you.
At this time, it's my honor to introduce to you our mayor, Mr. Purvis.
Thank you. Let me start off to say it's a great honor for me to stand in front of these people who saved the life of a gentleman. They attended their training to learn how to do their skills, and their skills were evident at this time, and this gentleman is still alive because of them. I encourage each and every one of you to get involved and learn the skills of the first aid, CPR, because one day it could be one of your family members that you'll be faced with that you could save. The cornerstone to providing optimized care to sudden cardiac arrest patients is in any community is a timely and effective innovation from the entire community known as the chain of survival. On December 21st, the chain of survival worked well during the Fouke Genoa basketball game. 911 was quickly called. Bystanders started CPR and applied AED until LifeNet arrived on the scene. It's a true community team partnership and was based on because people in the community knew what to do that day. Mr. McKnight is still with us here today. Learning these skills is necessary to be an effective link in a chain of survival in our community is important. As Mayor of Fouke, I am grateful to the 6 individuals that we are honoring here today and the skills that they have learned. I also encourage you here today to take learning skills to know how to use an AED and how to effectively do CPR very seriously. When CPR is performed, rescue breathing and chest compressions, calculate oxygen, or circulate oxygen, enrich blood, and to vital organs. This buys time to the victims until a defibrillator can be given. Each of these links in the chain of survival are important to survival. Each of these pieces added to the likelihood of the survivor increases. As Mayor of Fouke, I want to extend my gratitude to each of the LifeNet Livesaver Award recipients we honor here today. Congratulations on your heroic efforts, and thank you for being heroes in our community. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Miller County Judge, Kathy Harden Harrison, and let her say a few words.
I want to echo the Mayor's sentiment in expressing appreciation to each of the 7 individuals being honored today with the LifeNet Livesaver Award. Because of your efforts, one of the citizens was able to celebrate another Christmas with his family. As the Mayor just mentioned, building the links in the chain of survival is important, especially here in Miller County, where many of us live in rural areas where access to an ambulance may be delayed. In the case of the patient whose life was saved, there were 7 bystanders who performed CPR, applied an AED, and got back circulation in the patient. We cannot express enough how much their willingness to step in and utilize the skills they had learned played in ensuring Mr. McKnight is still part of our community today. But the stats show that people are more likely to suffer a cardiac arrest at home, so you never know when you will be the bystander who has to start CPR on someone you love. In 2018, LifeNet responded to an average of 1.3 sudden cardiac arrest calls a day in this area. If you want to make a difference in the community, I encourage you to pay attention during your CPR class and keep your certification up as you start into adulthood. Like the 7 people we are honoring today, you too may save a life by knowing these skills. At this time, I'd like to introduce the CEO of LifeNet, Mr. David Bumgard.
Thank you. Group, you are always going to be connected for the rest of your lives for what you did for Mr. McKnight. I'm here to give out the plaques, so without further ado, we're going to give out the plaques with the judge's help. So Robin, Adrian, if you come on up here. Marshall, Dianne, Jeff, Jody, Courtney. Again, there'll always be a special elite group. You'll always have that relationship among you, and Mr. McKnight owes you his life. Congratulations.